Peace. This is Watch for Wise Words Media back at y'all for another round. And as you can see, different scenery. Once again, chest naked out here, so you know what that means. Vacation time. You know, in my backyard right now, enjoying life, enjoying the fruits of my labor. On some camera on. Yo, get the pool in the back. Yeah. In any event, we are here. We have made it to one of the most anticipated weeks in boxing history. We are officially in the greatest week of boxing history. And that is because we are not going to get one, but we're going to get two super fights in 1 week. This is rare, man. This is like a great year, you know, that happens. That's the technical term when, you know, all the sun goes around 12 zodiacs. That happens every like 25,000 years, but that's another science for another day. But we are here in one of those rare occurrences in life where we're going to have two mega fights in 1 week. We have Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence as the main course meal this Saturday. However, before that, the appetizer, and that's the honestly, I've been looking before even Crawford Spence was like official. When this fight got announced, I said, man, this is the fight of the year. I didn't care about Tank versus Ryan as much. I didn't care about Haney versus Loma. I did not care about Canelo versus whoever. I did not care about none of those fights as much as I cared about this one that's happening early tomorrow morning. This fight right here. This fight, the main fight is probably gonna end up happening like around 7:30, 8 in the morning. So you wanna tune in if you can, but if not, the fight should show, because it's an ESPN card. It should show on the ESPN app at your own convenience. However, I would advise stay off YouTube, stay off social media, because this fight's so big, a fight of this magnitude. If you're not into spoilers, avoid social media, YouTube, because this thing is gonna be all over. This thing's gonna be buzzing because you don't get fights like this of this magnitude that come that often. And that's you know, you're gonna have two guys that are in their prime, that are at the top of their division, and one of them, especially Inoue, being a pound for pound fighter. This fight right here is huge. When we want to compare the magnitude of fights that we have coming up this week, when you think to like, and you know, want to draw a connection between classic fights that have happened already that we all know as legendary nights, when you think Inoue versus Stephen Fulton, think Chavez versus Meldrick Taylor, right? Inoue, they're trying to build him up as the next Chavez, this guy that just goes in there and steamrolls his opponents. You know, they building him up as a Chavez slash Pacquiao that just goes in there, steamrolls his opponents. They're building him up more as Pacquiao. I just said Chavez because I think as far as like the styles, I think you're gonna get an aggressive fighter with a knockout history like Chavez versus a Philly fighter with great technical ability, which is Stephen Fulton. And that's what you got when Chavez fought Meldrick Taylor. You got the guy with the knockout history that's a devastating puncher, and Chavez took on the Philly fighter that had a lot of skill, tremendous skill, flashy puncher, throwing punches and bunches, and that's Meldrick Taylor. So this fight is going to be reminiscent of Meldrick Taylor versus Chavez. This is going to be the boxer puncher versus the pure, amazing boxing skill of a guy like Stephen Fulton. So this is going to be a huge fight, man. Think Chavez, Meldrick Taylor. So I'm telling y'all now, I already did mine. go on FanDuel if you bet, put your money on Stephen Fulton. Because Stephen Fulton, you're going to get more than twice the money that you put in, because Stephen Fulton's a big underdog in this one. But I'm telling you, Stephen Fulton has all the skills to pay the bills, man. The brother has good footwork, good hand speed, has a good jab, good defense. He is technically savvy. You know them Philly fighters, man. You know, although I hate Philly and y'all Eagles in football, but when it comes to boxing, I love what y'all produce, man. So I'm telling you, put your money on Stephen Fulton. You won't regret it. And we also got the main course meal coming up this weekend, where we get the fight of the decade, where we're going to get the generational clash. And these things happen like every 10 years or so. You know, last one we got was Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather. So we do up, and it's here. It's here at the end of this week. On the weekend, Saturday, we're going to get Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence. So I will do a separate video getting into my prediction for that fight and my keys to victory for both sides. But for today, being that tomorrow morning, and it'll be a little too early for me to do a pre-fight video, I'll do a quick pre-fight video right now. So the pre-fight video, these are the keys to victory for both Inoue and Stephen Fulton. So Stephen Fulton, Cool Boy Steph, is going to Japan, or he's in Japan now. He was met with tons of fans and a lot of media support, because, you know, those that know, they know. Stephen Fulton's a very talented boxer. And when you look at Inoue's style, Inoue, the keys for victory for him are going to be Inoue. Be what we know you to be, and that is an aggressive, bring the battle to your opponent type of fighter. Even though Inoue's moving up in weight, this is going to be his first fight at 126. He's moving up in weight. However, he has shown in the past that his power has been able to translate and move up with him to a different weight class, and he's been able to knock opponents out. So he's going to have to be the aggressor in this fight. He's going to have to, especially since he's fighting at home. Since he's fighting at home, he's going to want to be the aggressor, because with the home base, the crowd that's there, any little, even if the shots don't land flush, like let's say Stephen Fulton is blocking, and let's say something hits the glove, but it looked good, you're going to hear the reaction from the crowd, and that in and of itself is going to help Inoue, right? Because there's different types of judges. There's judges that are like super vigilant, observing every little muscle twitch, right? So they're looking at every punch landed. And then there's other judges that they're led by the crowd, right? So the crowd reactions help them. You know, like they see like, oh shoot, you know, one person must be landing because the crowd is going crazy when this person's throwing whatever punch or combination. So some are misled by that. So he can sway a judge or two by being aggressive, and even if he doesn't land cleanly, at least he makes that attempt, and even if it's blocked, but it looks strong and powerful, crowd will react. Judges might look at that. So that will be the key for Inoue, to cut the ring, be aggressive. Wherever Fulton tries to move, you move with him, and bring the fight to Fulton, and keep him looking defensive the whole fight, because you're at home. That home crowd's going to go crazy. That's going to impact judging. Now, if you're Stephen Fulton, your keys to victory is to utilize that jab. Stephen Fulton is the bigger man. He is the better athlete. And he has the better footwork, the longer reach. So I see that Stephen Fulton may be able to mix it up sometimes. His key approach should be to utilize the jab, 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 mix it up, jab 1-2. But a lot of footwork, a lot of feinting because Inoue is aggressive. So, some feints, try to get Inoue to like counter you and then boom, grab him with the opening. And utilize footworks, clinch when you have to. Don't be proud just because you're the bigger guy. Don't think that you can always mix it up because power sometimes carries over to a new weight class with fighters that are going to that weight class. So don't mix it up too frequently, but because you are the bigger man, Stephen Fulton can mix it up from time to time just to sway the judges as well, because you also want to give the presentation that you are the aggressor, but being that he's super skillful, good footwork, good jab, good speed, good hand speed, you want to mix it in, feel a little more comfortable because you're the bigger guy. You may withstand the punches better than some of the guys in the lighter divisions against Inoue. And by doing so, you should be able to rack up some rounds by mixing your attack. Jab, jab, footwork, pivot. But stand toe-to-toe with him a few times. Let him feel the full force, being that he's the smaller man, and that might sway Inoue into thinking, maybe toe-to-toe, maybe throw him, maybe I want to box now. Because I could feel that he is the bigger man, So now he's trying to do something that he's not used to, which is being the pure boxer in the fight. And that's where Stephen Fulton can take full advantage. So once again, fight fans, this is a super fight. Nobody wants to miss this one. I'm gonna be up early, man. I'm gonna jump out of bed like at 6 in the morning. I'm gonna catch the undercards and everything. And yeah, we'll pick it back up. I'm gonna have a post-fight video tomorrow at some point, and let's see what happens. I'm Waz for Waz Words Media. Peace. Get the pulling back.